The soft blue glow of neural interfaces illuminated the advanced quantum physics examination hall at the Galactic Academy. 43 students sat in perfect rows, their various cranial ports pulsing as they downloaded information directly from the Academy's vast knowledge network. All except one. Marcus Thompson sat in the third row, hunched over a sheet of actual paper with what the other students recognized as a primitive writing implement. His movements were slow and deliberate, painfully analog compared to the lightning-fast data transfers happening around him. "Look at the human," whispered Kretak, a six-limbed Altarian whose neural crown sparkled with processing activity. "Is his interface broken?" Zawaixandra, a crystalline being from the Vegas system, let out a harmonious chime that served as laughter among her species. "Broken? I don't think it has one. Watch, it's actually using manual calculation methods." The mockery spread in whispered comments across multiple languages and communication frequencies. To the enhanced students, watching Marcus work was like watching someone try to fly by flapping their arms. It was primitive, inefficient, and frankly embarrassing. Professor Velthon called out Nixura, a tentacled student whose neural interface was so advanced it created a visible holographic display around her head. "Should we inform the human that its technology appears to be malfunctioning?" Professor Velthon, a distinguished Rigelian with centuries of teaching experience, glanced at Marcus and then at his chronometer. "Mr. Thompson's equipment is functioning as intended. Please focus on your own examination." The alien students exchanged amused glances. 20 minutes into the 3-hour exam, most of them were already halfway finished, their neural interfaces rapidly accessing and cross-referencing information from thousands of sources. Marcus was still on the first page, occasionally pausing to stare at the ceiling before continuing his archaic scribbling. "The primitive is thinking," Kretak observed with barely concealed disdain, "manually processing information through biological neurons. How inefficient." By the 1-hour mark, the first students began finishing. Nixera submitted her completed exam with a satisfied pulse of her bioluminescent patches. 97% confidence rating, she announced proudly, referring to her interface's assessment of her answer's accuracy. More students followed suit. Zawaixandra finished at 73 minutes with a 95% confidence rating. Kretak completed his work at 86 minutes, grinning with his multiple mouths at his 98% score prediction. Marcus continued working, seemingly oblivious to the fact that he was now one of only 5 students remaining. His hand moved steadily across the paper, occasionally pausing to erase and rewrite sections. The remaining students watched him with a mixture of pity and scientific curiosity. "Perhaps we should study it," suggested Blixorth, a hive-minded collective consciousness. This could be how primitive species attempted problem-solving before technological advancement. At 2 hours and 47 minutes, Marcus finally set down his writing instrument and approached Professor Velthon's desk to submit his exam. He was the last student to finish, having taken nearly the entire allotted time. The results were posted 3 days later. The hallway outside the examination hall fell silent as students gathered around the holographic display. At the top of the list, with a perfect score of 100%, was a name that made their enhanced processors struggle to compute the implications. Marcus Thompson, 100%. Below it, in descending order, were the neural interface users with their various scores in the 85 to 97% range. "Impossible," Nixera whispered, her tentacles writhing with confusion. The confidence algorithms indicated. "The algorithms were accessing the same databases you were," Professor Velthon interrupted, appearing behind the stunned group. "They provided the same answers everyone else found. Correct answers, certainly, but not necessarily the most elegant or insightful ones." He gestured to the display. "Mr. Thompson didn't access our databases because he didn't need to. He solved each problem from first principles, showing work that demonstrated not just knowledge of the correct answers, but genuine understanding of the underlying physics." Kretak's 6 eyes focused on the professor with difficulty. But the neural interfaces provide perfect information recall. "Indeed," Professor Velthon nodded. Perfect recall of what others have discovered. Mr. Thompson demonstrated something far rarer, the ability to discover solutions independently. Several of his approaches were so novel that they've been forwarded to the Academy's research division. As the alien students dispersed in contemplative silence, Marcus approached the group with his characteristic awkward smile. "Hey, good job, everyone," he said genuinely. "That was a tough exam. Mind if I ask how those neural interface things work? They look pretty cool." The students who had mocked his primitive methods now found themselves trying to explain their advanced technology to someone who had just outperformed them using nothing but the organic computer between his ears. Sometimes they realized the newest technology couldn't compete with 3 billion years of evolution.